First of all, Swamiji, can we have a little, few words about Shanna and her book, or something you want to ask to her?
Yeah. First of all, I would like to congratulate Shanna for developing so many things at such a young age. I remember Swami Vivekananda writing somewhere that a time will come, the golden age will come, when the children from their very birth will be born with yogic powers. So I think that Shanna is an example of the
Correct,
prophecy
correct.
that was
Auntie,
told by
thank you
Swami
so much.
Vivekananda. She is one of the sample.
Oh,
She has come
yeah, we
early.
have a sample.
So many more will come like Shanna, but this is a sort of a confirmation of the prophecy given by Swami Vivekananda that the whole world will change and the golden age will come once again. I mean, the children will be born with yogic powers. So I'm really astonished, very much astonished to look at the biodata of Shanna, and also at such a young age of 11 years, having so many achievements at her credit. It's a really wonderful thing. I heartily congratulate Shanna, and
I'm so humbled. Thank you so much.
I also pray that you grow more and more in every direction and every field, and go on performing miracles like this,
Thank you
and
so much for your blessings.
be a source of inspiration to many all over the world. This is what I pray for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your blessings. Thank you so much
Well,
for your blessings, Swamiji.
so, who is the source of your inspiration? I would like to ask.
Okay, so my grandparents are my inspiration and I love them. So I love to read and I have the desire to write because of them. They used to tell
Your grandparents.
Yeah.
Your grandparents are your source of inspiration. Huh?
Yeah. Because they used to tell me a lot of short stories and also some religious texts. So I'm also inspired by nature as it guides us in our life. I had dreams of fantasy, dreams of like various stories which I used to write in my diary. I wrote a book, Lily Valley, a fantasy book which will be published soon.
Oh, very nice.
And even the book, The Adventures of Unicornia, it came in my dream and I just wrote it in my diary and it got published.
Very nice. So you have so many things you have performed. This is another thing is also that this also validates the law of reincarnation. You know, so in past birth you achieved so many things, and these things are helping you perhaps. Do you remember your past birth?
No, I don't really remember my past, but I hope I can. Because nobody can remember their past, but actually our body is just a dress for our soul. So our soul will just keep switching bodies. So I guess I can connect with my soul more deeply and I can understand my past.
Yeah, but in the subconscious mind, all those samskaras and the past impressions of previous births are there. Only we do not know it. But these are all that is stored up thing. So whatever, so for example, you might have read or you might have achieved, these are all helping you, I think, in this life. Sometimes it happens that it comes very early. That also is there, and that has come in your side. So you are affirming, you are confirming the two things. One is the prophecy of Swami Vivekananda that yogic children will be born with yogic powers, and also you are confirming the theory of reincarnation. At such a young age, you achieved so many things. That means you have done so many things the past birth, which is helping you. You may or may not remember. Of course, so many scientists have already produced books and they have done research and they have done interview of thousands of people who remembered their past and they were child prodigy, and that is what they helped them. For example, a boy used to come to our ashrama, only 6 years boy, but playing very nice tabla. Nobody taught him, but he was playing very good tabla. This is all the things as that is they learnt in the previous birth. Second question is, how can we know the mind of God?
Mind of God. very difficult to find, but it is not possible. I mean, it is not really impossible, but by the way, it is not so possible. So there's a quote that Stephen Hawking told that if we do discover a theory of everything, it would be the ultimate success of human reason. And human mind is full of desires, attachments. The scriptures identify it as source of suffering. How can we think like God? The mind by silence, by meditation, and by surrendering our actions and fruits of the action to God. The mind will be peaceful. The higher mind and the highest reality is God. Maybe by spiritual practice, we can attain it.
Very nice. Very nice.
No, but
I very much reply.
I was
appreciate reply from such a small child. You know what she's telling. What she's telling has been told by the great scientist Paul Davis. This is the name of the book is The Mind of God. Okay.
okay.
This is the book Mind of God by Paul Davis, where he has made an analysis. How can we know the mind of God in a scientific manner? And ultimately comes to the conclusion, if we know Cantor's absolute, then we can know the mind of God. Okay? Because Cantor's absolute contains all the infinites in the world. Cantor's absolute, C-A-N-T-O-R, Cantor's absolute. Now, he says, ultimately he says, scientifically, we cannot know the Cantor's absolute. Why? Because the mind of the person who is wanting to know the Cantor's absolute is contained in the Cantor's absolute. So how can you know the mind? How can you know the knower? How can we know the knower? And that is why the last thing that he has told, that great scientist, say what Shanna told, same thing. The mystical process is the only process where whereby we can know the mind of God. So wonderful reply she has given. Spiritual practice, the mystical process, the deep meditation only will allow you to know the mind of God. And when you know the mind of God, you become one with God. Yes, that is the second thing.
Correct.
That is the second thing. So when you know the self, you become one with the self. Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati.
Because we can never become God. God is like the biggest sea ever, but we are just the droplets. After we die, we can only become the droplets of the sea, but the droplet cannot become the sea.
Yes, but when the droplet can go to the sea and become merged with God, with the ocean, isn't it? That is what it. That is what it.
God.
Yes.
Okay, my mouth is steppered now.
I'm very happy.
I don't have any words to speak when she is speaking.
Sometimes I just feel like God is just a human and we are the cells of God. I sometimes feel like it.
Okay, that is also a good feeling. That's also a great realization. And we go further and further, and then go in a subjective mind, in a subjective way to know him, in a subjective way. One is objective way, but objective way, ultimate analysis is not possible because it is beyond time, space, and causation. And our mind is within time, space, and causation. So if we go beyond time, space, and causation, then we will be able to know the mind of God. Very nice.
Yeah.
I am very happy.
And I really want to say something. What if we are really the cells of God? You know, because there are like trillions of cells in our body and each has its own job to do, its purpose. As sometimes I think I'm also a cell of God who has my own purpose.
Very nice.
Because so everyone has his own purpose.
You continue like this and you will have many more realizations and we will have many more books like this.
Yeah.
Very nice. Congratulations and also very nice. I am very happy. I am very happy to know your spiritual depth also along with the intellectual depth.